My name is Lilian. I am 32 years old, and this is the story of the biggest mistake of my life. I did not plan it. I did not want it, but I walked into it with my own feet and my own heart. I worked in a small office on the fifth floor of a gray building. Every morning I arrived at 8. I cleaned my desk. I turned on my computer. I made a cup of coffee that was always a little too hot. My life was quiet and clean. I liked it that way. My boss was a calm man. His name was Mr. Daniel. He spoke in a soft voice and always said thank you. When I finished a report, he smiled. When I stayed late, he noticed. No one had noticed me like that before. I told myself it was only work, only respect, nothing more. In the evening, I went home to my small apartment. I cooked rice, I watched short videos on my phone, I folded my clothes and placed them in neat lines. My life was simple and safe. One Friday, he asked, "Do you want to join the team at a nightclub tonight?" I did not like nightclubs. They were loud and full of smoke and bright lights. But everyone was going. I did not want to be the only one who said no, so I said yes. I wore a black dress that I had not worn for a long time. When I looked in the mirror, I saw a different woman. She looked alive. She looked young. I felt proud and afraid at the same time. The nightclub was dark and full of music. The floor moved under my feet. Lights touched my face and then disappeared. We sat at a long table. People laughed, glasses touched, drinks came again and again. I did not drink often. That night, I drank because everyone drank. Mr. Daniel sat next to me. He leaned close so I could hear him. His voice was warm in my ear. He said I worked hard. He said I was special to the team. My face became hot. My heart moved fast. The music grew louder. My thoughts became slow and soft. The room turned in a gentle circle. When I stood up, my body felt light. He held my arm to help me walk. His hand stayed a moment longer than needed. We danced with the others at first. Then we danced alone. His hand was on my back. My hand was on his shoulder. It felt natural and wrong at the same time. I told myself to step away. I told myself to stop, but I did not move. When the night ended, the street was quiet. The air was cool. I wanted to go home. I really wanted that. But he said, "Let me drive you." I sat in his car. The city lights passed like slow stars. We stopped in front of my building. I should have said good night. I should have opened the door and walked out. Instead, I sat there with my hands in my lap. My body was warm from the drink and the music and his eyes. He looked at me in a way that made me feel seen and lost at the same time. He touched my cheek. His fingers were careful, as if I were something fragile. "This is a mistake," I said. My voice was very small. He did not answer with words. He only moved closer. I closed my eyes because I did not want to see myself. The first kiss was slow. It was not hungry. It was soft and asking. My heart beat so loud I could hear it in my ears. I thought of my quiet room upstairs. I thought of the woman who folded her clothes and slept alone. She felt very far away. I tried to stop. I placed my hand on his chest to push him back, but my hand stayed there. I felt the warmth of his body through his shirt. My breath became deep and uneven. When he held me, I felt safe and broken at the same time. We went upstairs. Each step on the stairs sounded too loud. Inside my apartment, the light was low and yellow. Everything looked the same as always. The small table, the cup in the sink, the chair near the window. But I was not the same. I said again, "We should not do this." But I did not move away. He touched my hair and then my face. His hands were slow, as if he wanted to remember every part of me. My body answered him before my mind could speak. That was the moment I lost the fight. When he held me, I felt my knees become weak. I held his arm to stand. My thoughts were like water. I could not catch them. We moved to the bed without speaking. The room was very quiet. I could hear our breathing. I could hear the small sound of the city outside the window. His hand moved along my arm, learning me. I had never been touched with so much attention. It was not only desire, it was focus, it was time. That was what broke me. I knew it was wrong. The word wrong was inside my head again and again, but my body did not listen. My body stayed close to him. My fingers held his shirt as if I was afraid he would disappear. When our skin touched, I felt a shock of warmth. I opened my eyes and saw his face very near to mine. There was no office, no desk, no reports, only this moment that I could not stop. I gave in. The night passed in slow waves of breath and movement. I forgot the clock. I forgot my name for a moment. I only felt. After, we lay in silence. The room was the same room, but the air felt different. My heart was calm, but deep inside there was a stone. He slept for a short time. I did not sleep. I looked at the ceiling and listened to his breathing. The stone inside me became bigger. In the morning light, I saw the truth. My dress was on the floor. My hair was not tied. My life was not clean and simple anymore. He woke and smiled. He kissed my shoulder as if nothing heavy had happened. But I felt the weight of everything. When he left, he said, "We will talk at work." I closed the door and sat on the floor. I did not cry. That was the strange thing. I only sat there and looked at my hands. They were quiet hands. They were careful hands. And they had opened the door to this. Days passed. In the office, we were the same as before. He spoke in a calm voice. I answered in a calm voice. But every time our eyes met, I felt the stone. He sent messages at night. Simple messages. "Are you okay?" I did not answer. I placed the phone face down on the table and watched the screen go dark. My apartment was not safe anymore. The bed was not a place for rest. It was a place that showed me my mistake again and again. I stopped cooking. I stopped watching videos. I came home and sat in the chair near the window. I listened to the sounds of other people living their clean lives. One evening, I understood the truth. It came without noise. It came like clear air. I had not done it because of love. I had done it because I wanted to feel seen. I had wanted someone to look at me as if I was important. That was my hunger. That was my mistake. The next day, I asked to move to another department. I spoke in a steady voice. My boss looked at me for a long time. He nodded. He did not ask why. When I left his office, my legs were shaking, but the stone inside me became smaller. Weeks later, my life became quiet again. I cleaned my desk in a new room. I made my coffee too hot. I went home and cooked rice. The simple things returned one by one. Sometimes I still remember that night. Not with warmth, not with hate, only with a deep understanding of who I was in that moment. I forgave myself slowly, not in one day, not in 1 week. Each time I folded my clothes and placed them in neat lines, I felt a small peace. I learned to look at myself in the mirror and stay there without turning away. Now, when I walk home in the evening, I carry my own attention inside me. I do not wait for someone else to give it. My mistake did not disappear. It became a quiet teacher that walks beside me. I know now that being seen by others is not the same as seeing myself, and my heart is like my small apartment again, simple, clean, and honest, with the light turned on by my own hand.